Deadpool and Wolverine has crossed $1 billion at the box office, making it one of the highest grossing R-rated movies of all time. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse and welcome to my channel. Deadpool and Wolverine has just crossed a huge box office milestone, crossing $1 billion earlier this weekend, making it one of the highest grossing R-rated films of all time. So today I'm going to give you my ranking of the top 5 highest grossing R-rated films of all time. Let's get into it. Kicking us up at number 5, I have Deadpool 2. This was a really fun sequel to the first Deadpool movie. I don't like it quite as much, but there is a lot to love. The action and the jokes are arguably better in this movie. The higher budget means they were able to do a lot more elaborate action sequences. And David Leitch, who also directed Atomic Blonde and The Fall Guy, knows how to make great action movies, so he was the perfect person to direct this kind of film, and it shows. The action in this movie is fantastic. Juggernaut, Domino, and Cable are all great additions. I love Domino, especially as a supporting character. She has some great moments. Josh Brolin nails it as Cable. I would have loved to see more of him, and I just really like the story of this movie, and we see so much growth for Wade as a character. Number 4, I have Joker. This is currently the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, made $1.078 billion, and it's only a matter of time before Deadpool and Wolverine overtakes that. And I really enjoy this movie. I think Joaquin Phoenix does a great job in this role and brings a great kind of darker, grittier side to this character, which really is what it should be. I mean, Joker is a dark character, especially in the comics, and just with everything that he's been through, he should be a dark character that should have an R rating. So I really like what this movie does with that. Joaquin Phoenix does a very unique take on this role. He's more kind of a mentally ill person. He doesn't really do crime just for the hell of it like the Joker in The Dark Knight, although I do prefer Heath Ledger's version more, but this is a lot darker of a take on it. Like I said, he's genuinely not right in the head. He's mentally ill. He has an illness that he can uncontrollably laughs at the wrong times, and this is a much grittier version of the city of Gotham, and just a great take on this character. And I'm really curious to see what they do with Joker Folie à Deux, if it can live up to the standards of this movie, and if it can take a place on this list by the end of the year. Number 3, Deadpool, a great fresh take on the superhero genre. It's R-rated, which was a much newer thing at the time, and I just love what Ryan Reynolds has done with this character. He worked for like a decade to get this movie done after playing a version of Wade Wilson / Deadpool in X-Men Origins that was terribly taken in by everyone. Everybody hated it. He wanted to do a better version of it and a more comic accurate version. And that's exactly what he did in this movie. His humor works perfectly with this character, and that's exactly what I love about it. I love Ryan Reynolds as an actor, and I love his style of humor. So these movies really work for me, and I can understand why somebody wouldn't necessarily love these movies, especially if that R-rated, crude humor is not your kind of thing. If Ryan Reynolds' humor doesn't work for you, these movies certainly aren't, but I've always loved it. I think the simple story works in its favor. The movie flies by. Simple character, simple story, and that's just exactly what this movie needs. This isn't a character or a movie that really needs an extreme, like an amazing villain. You're just here for the humor and the action. Number 2, the newest addition to this list, Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie was one of my most anticipated movies of 2024, and it did not disappoint. This movie delivered everything that I wanted from it. It has everything that you love from the other two Deadpool movies, the same violence, the same humor, and this movie brings in other characters as well, not just Wolverine, but great cameos as well. That at the end of the day, what this movie does really well is the cameos aren't really just cameos. They actually have a purpose. They actually add to the story, which I really enjoyed. Yes, it's fan service. Yes, fans love it and will love it, but it's not all they are. They actually add to the story in important ways, which I loved. Hugh Jackman gives an amazing performance as this version of Wolverine, and it's my second favorite performance of his as Wolverine. Paradox is a decent villain. Emma Corrin does a great job as Cassandra Nova, and again, this movie just has everything that you want from a Deadpool movie, and I'm really curious to see just how far this movie will go. Will it overtake it will overtake Joker, and that's almost guaranteed by this point. I'm curious to see exactly how far it will go after that. But coming in number one for me, my favorite movie on the top 5 highest grossing R-rated movies of all time is Oppenheimer, the movie that came out last year and was a huge box office success thanks to the help of the Barbenheimer phenomenon, and just Christopher Nolan, his name just attracts people. People love his films. They love him as a director. Me personally, Christopher Nolan is my favorite director of all time. The one that really got me into movies and inspired me to want to become a filmmaker. And I love everything that he did with this movie. It didn't quite make $1 billion. It was very, very close. It was right there. And just everything that he did with this movie was amazing. The fact that it got this far, a 3-hour-long biopic, historical epic on J. Robert Oppenheimer and the making of the atomic bomb, I think the fact that it got as far as it did at the box office is insanely impressive. And this is one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies to date. It's top 3, top 2, up there with The Dark Knight. And Cillian Murphy finally gets the leading role as J. Robert Oppenheimer, and he does phenomenal in this role. The dialogue is so well written. I love the transitions that he did between color and black and white. The the visuals and everything with the atomic bomb looks beautiful, and I just love this movie, and is going to become one of my favorites very soon, I can tell. So there you have it. That is my ranking of the top 5 highest grossing R-rated films of all time. What is your ranking of this list? Let me know down in the comments below. And until my next video, like this one, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching movies. Goodbye.